Eric, the last voter here. I have been trying to schedule a meeting as a constituent of Mike Rogers, who is the representative, the national representative, I guess you could say, from Alabama, in my district. I intended to meet with him and discuss problems that we are facing in our district, and not just in our district at home, but here in his second home of Washington, D.C. This man, Mike Rogers, spends more time in D.C. than he ever does in Alabama these days. Have you noticed that? Maybe it's because of all of the corporate PAC money that he's been taking and using and being bribed with over the last several years of his term. Now, Mike Rogers is somebody that I had hoped would be an ally, a mentor, an advisor. But I just went there to meet with Mike Rogers. His staff blew me off a fourth time. They keep promising me, oh, sir, we'll email you. We'll email you and we'll set up a time. No email exists. None have been sent. No calls have been made other than the calls that I have made into their office, which is documented. I'm trying to do what's right for our citizens, our Alabama residents, my neighbors in Odenville. I am here in Capitol Hill, $6,000 in debt. On my Chase credit card, my Wells Fargo account, I have nothing left to give other than my blood, sweat, and tears, and my hard work on behalf of our people and on behalf of the people at home in Alabama that honestly are struggling right now. Struggling to pay bills, struggling to feed their children, struggling to get medical attention. And we're fighting about masks? Really? By the way, just one last note. I'm still out here hanging out at the Capitol Hill. But one final note. If Mike Rogers, the Alabama state representative from my district, from hundreds of thousands of Alabamians' district, I've gone through a lot to get here, to make it to the Capitol again. I've gone broke. My body is wearing down on me. You know, even as I walk now, miles through the Capitol trying to get back to my hotel. Because again, Mike Rogers blew me off. So, if I went through all of this over the last 2 weeks to get here, and Mike Rogers still doesn't care enough to email me back, to call me back, do you really think he's fighting on behalf of you? Do you really think he's fighting for any of my neighbors in Odenville? Or does he care about his own pocketbook? Just so he can hold on to power and continue to corrupt our system while our people suffer. No more. No more. My name is Eric Richardson, the last voter standing. I am standing for you, even if nobody else will. I am here at our Capitol in Washington, D.C., one of the most majestic cities in our country, and it is littered, unfortunately, with homeless, people defecating in the streets, people dying of drug overdoses every hour. If that's what's happening in our nation's capital, and these guys can just walk over the dead bodies, that's a problem. That's a real problem, guys. Something is messed up with our society that we need to fix. And I'm here to influence positive change in any way that I possibly can. So I hope you'll join me.